Hi, Devli. Can you hear me, Devli? Hi.
Hi Tanveey, how are you?
Very well.
Loud
Thank
and
you,
clear.
Devli. So are we able to hear each other clearly? There seems to be a bit of a
Yes, I
time
believe
delay.
so.
Yeah, yeah. So a very warm welcome to you, Devli, to our show, NRG Retreat with Tanveey Kapur. It's about everything wellness. And Devli Sehgal is actually the co-founder of Amritam Global. And I'm really so excited to have you on the show today, Devi. I've actually seen on your Instagram handle as to how the cows are actually the cuddling sessions with the cows and how they're actually loved, literally loved and treated so well. And it's not just a commercial project. I believe it's not just a commercial project. It's so much more of
Yeah,
heart that goes into this brand. So tell me about Amritam Ghee.
absolutely, yes.
So Devi, tell me a little bit about Amritam Ghee, please.
We're missing, there's a little bit of a gap. Um, to get this in place. Sorry, Tanvi, there's some miss. I missed your question.
No worries. So I was saying that I'm so excited to have you on the show today, Devli. I have been following
Likewise.
you on your Instagram handle for a while now, and I do see the kind of love that you actually feel towards the cows. And it's not just a commercial venture, because I have also
Mhm.
gone to the cuddling sessions and the kind of pampering that you actually, give the cows and the nurturing that you give the cows. It's not really a commercial project only. There's so much more
Yes.
to it from what I see on your Instagram handle, and so my understanding of Amritam ghee is it's made from desi cows, pure A2 milk using ahimsa practices, packed with the
Yes.
benefits of immunity boosting, vitamin A,
Mhm.
which is for the eyes, hair, skin, with anti-aging and antioxidant properties, omega-3, which is good for a healthy heart, vitamin K, good for healthy bones, better calcium absorption, and also all the benefits of vitamin D and so much more. Completely organic and produced by the Bologna method. So tell me
Yes.
a little bit about the brand and what exactly is the Bologna method for our audiences to know.
So, the Bologna method is the traditional method of churning ghee. So first the milk is set into curd. The curd is hand churned in something which is called a Bologna. So it's done in a clay pot, but the wooden handle that churns it is called the Bologna. So
Okay.
it's very time taking, slow process, and then the butter separates from the curd, leaving the buttermilk behind, and that is simmered over slow fire to get the clarified butter, the pure desi ghee. So when we do it from the Bologna traditional method, which is very time consuming, but you get the maximum nutrition in that.
Fantastic. So, I do believe also that the environment is so important. And I personally, like I said earlier in the episode, been following Amritam Global on their Instagram handle, which also goes by the name of Amritam Global itself. So, you guys are free to follow them and see as to how lovingly they actually take care of the cows that are present at the farm. So, tell us more about the environment and the INSA practices that you guys incorporate.
So, for us, global wellness is our main motto. So, a little bit going back to how this project started, in the first place. As you know, Tanvi, we have always had a stud farm
Right.
and we always had cows, but for the family. So, no matter where in the world we have been, we've always had this pure desi ghee sent to us for our children, because that is supposed to be like the building blocks, of your child at the early age. So, keeping that in mind, when the pandemic happened, people started asking us, for their children and even for themselves. And we said, why not? If this is the need of the hour and wellness is our main, perspective, we gave birth to Amritam Global. Amritam Ghee came into the picture,
Right.
and that's how it started. So it's not just, and so we are, all our efforts out here are to give you the most nutritious, the most pure traditional superfoods which our grandparents have always raved about. So we try to follow the traditional practices. As well as you may be aware, I'm also a Reiki grandmaster,
Oh,
and
wow. Okay, that
yeah.
actually I wasn't aware of. I'm so excited. So I think we'll be coming back again on the podcast on this live stream as well because it's all about wellness. So I'm going to get you back
Yes.
for that.
So, when you contacted me on this platform, I said, see, that is synergy, because not only are we producing a very pure product, which is done the
Right,
traditional way, we
right.
are also enhancing it with Reiki positive energy.
Fantastic. I
And
didn't read
also,
about that, Devli,
yeah,
yeah, in the information that you shared, but I had no idea that you yourself are a practicing
there's
Reiki
a
grandma.
tiny mention on the box if you read the
Right,
content
right,
on the
right.
box.
Right. I did read that it is, enhanced with the positive energy of Reiki, but I didn't realize that you
Absolutely.
are the Reiki master. So that is, congratulations on
And
that.
not only me, my father, he happens to be the president of the International Reiki Association. So it's all
Right.
his energy backup, he's the powerhouse. And also, he's into geopathic stress. You may be aware of geopathic stress
Yes.
and its
Yes.
impact on the thing. So our entire farm for over 20, 30 years has been geopathic stress free. So you see there's a lot of enhancement in productivity and a lot of good energy coming out of there. So when we took our product to the lab for testing, they actually were spellbound, and they came back to us saying, have you guys done something extra, because the vitamin D levels, which is so important in today's age, in this
Uh,
pandemic, they say if you have your vitamin D levels, you don't need to worry about any virus. It is 10 times of what is actually found out there, in other brands. And vitamin A levels also extremely high. So I feel, it's a synergy of all the factors. It's organic, it's ahimsa, and it's also energized, with positivity. So it's just touch wood. It's
that makes a lot of difference, like you're saying, like what the energy that goes behind it, the environment. And actually, I've been following a handle that there is actually a lot of love, caring, nurturing, and revering of the cows. And the cows
yes,
are also fully grazed and fed a hormone-free diet, right?
yes, yes,
So
yes.
also makes a difference, guys. This is the beautiful packaging of the ghee,
And you
and
can
it
open
has
it up because people think that comes in the box.
it also has all the vital information that Devli has just mentioned. I'm going to also read about it as we speak. Okay, the information is mentioned right at the back, and it says farmer owned brand exclusively produced from A2 milk of our own pure breed desi cows. So like Devli's just mentioned to us that they have been into caring and nurturing cows forever, and it's just in the pandemic right now. We're going to come to that story shortly, that this brand has been launched, but initially the caring and the love for the cows has been there for like a very, very long time. And lovingly, the cows are raised, freely grazed, and fed farm grown organic fodder and natural herbs, following ahimsa practices. And the milk is extracted only after the calves have had their share. So, again, talking about the geopathic stress free environment enhanced with the positive energy of Reiki. And it's such a coincidence that the reason why I had named this podcast energy workers is because I do believe that everything in the universe is made up of energy, and that's all there is to it, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
And so it's beautiful that there is so much positive energy of Reiki and other factors that you're talking about, because it definitely makes a difference. I swear by anything that has energy work attached to it. So,
So, Tanvi, on that note, let me also mention that ghee is one of the most positively energized foods. If you ever do an energy measure or an aura scan or any of that sort, you will know. In fact, back in the days, it has been traced back that the desi cow ghee was also found in preserving the mummies, which helped them, last for generations together. So it has gone globally, and India was, on top of its game because it used to trade in ghee. So ghee and spices used to go via the Silk Route, and the traders used to bring back the gold. So that's why the Indian cow culture was so important, and now it's left to nothing because of the westernization and stuff like that has taken over, but we really are trying to make an effort to bring it back.
In fact, I was really inclined to also have you as one of the first guests on our podcast because, like literally, I could feel it that you feel the reverence for the cows. Whether it's celebrating Gopal Ashtami, and I saw there was this entire puja that took place at your organic
Yes.
farm. So, I was honestly like really impressed, and that was one of the reasons that I wanted you to be one of the first guests because yes, there is a lot of positivity that I felt from your posts as well.
Yes.
About
Yes.
the passion and the heart with which you are putting this product for the people. You know.
Tanvi, it is something which is revered by the gods. If you look at it traditionally, also, be it Lord Vishnu or Lord Shiva, or even you look at any god out there traditionally, you will find that there is some significance of a cow, out there. And this is something which they worship. So you can imagine the kind of energy that would have. That's why they say the 32 crore gods and goddesses out there, they all reside in the cow. There is so much importance given to it. And traditionally, cows were meant to be a part of your family. They were given the position of mother, like a motherly,
Right.
gomata.
Right. Yes.
And and we all thought those were just thoughts and beliefs. But when you look at it, the amount of nourishment that they give you, and this is, I'm talking about specifically the Indian desi breeds of cows, which are the Bos Indicus, not the Western cows, which are Bos Taurus. So when you see nutritionally the whole talk about A2 milk now and all the benefits of A2 milk vis-a-vis the normal milk, then you know where it's coming from. Our ancestors knew it all. They knew what the real energy source and the nutrition source was.
Really, can you talk more about the pure Desi Indian cows and what's the difference? Because some of us don't know. And it'll be
Yes.
great to like really learn more about what we're consuming and what is the difference. So please, can you enlighten us a bit more about that?
So, there are two varieties of cows. One is the Bos Indicus, which are the indigenous Desi cows, and there's a one breed called Bos Taurus, which are the Jerseys and the Holsteins. Now, sadly, because of commercialization, people went in for the Jersey cows vis-a-vis the indigenous cows because they were producing more volumes of milk, not knowing that the nutrition level was very different. And the very simple way to differentiate between indigenous cow and a non or a Jersey cow is that the indigenous breed always has a hump on its back,
Right.
and it has a flap under its neck. So the ones you see in the beautiful Pichwai paintings, or the traditional paintings around Lord Krishna, you will notice they always have this beautiful hump. And they say in that hump, there is a Surya Ketu Nadi, which is a vein that goes through their hump all the way down, to to every part of their body. That absorbs sunlight, and that carries the vital nutrients absorbed, like vitamin D, and they say this the gold salts, and they pass it on to your milk. So that is why in India, milk was always very revered to. It was the complete food, you know. And now when you hear of things of, oh, there is devil in milk and milk is not good for you, and then you hear so many lactose intolerance cases, and then
No,
you
no.
realize, sorry.
Carry on, Devi.
Yeah.
Carry on.
And then you realize that, there is something which we were told, and then there is something which is not matching up to it, because we've changed the complete genealogy of where our milk is coming from. Our grandfathers, great grandfathers all had milk from indigenous cows, but we've culled those cows and we've got the Western breed of cows, because instead of what gave you 5 liters, the Western cows are giving you 15, 20 liters. So
Ah,
commercialization took over that. So like everything else changed Western, the same thing happened out here. But now the West has come out with this theory of A2 milk and A1 milk, and you'll be amazed. You'll find more purebred desi cows in a country like Brazil compared to where they originated from. So this is
hmm.
the same Ayurveda yoga story happening in the dairy sector as well.
So what I was coming at was that you had shared the A2 tone buttermilk with me. It was the buttermilk that you had shared,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
yes, yes.
And I have actually been told that I'm lactose intolerant and all of that. So I avoid milk, but I had the
Mhm.
buttermilk that you had sent me, and it was yum, and my stomach was fine. And so it did instill that confidence in me that, okay, fine, that I can have milk as well. So for all of
Yes.
you guys who actually feel, that you might be lacto intolerant, do also experiment with you guys are making the buttermilk as well, right?
We're doing A2 milk, we're doing herbal milk, we're doing buttermilk, and Tanvi, now I'm going to send you a moringa buttermilk,
Oh,
which
wow.
is
That's
really, the
that's
newest thing out
okay.
there.
Tell
So
me
you
more
get
about
the
that.
yes, we've got our own grown moringa trees. So we have
Okay.
fresh moringa leaves, put in with the buttermilk, and you must try it because there's so much demand out there for, stuff that can really boost your immunity. So this is a great combination. Moringa and buttermilk is really is.
Fantastic. I'm going to definitely try it because usually, like, people are told that if they're lactose intolerant and they consume milk, it can lead to like either some kind of flatulence or discomfort in the stomach, so on and so forth. But when I had that buttermilk, I was totally fine. So for all you guys who think that, you might have some kind of stomach issues, gut issues, do definitely try this because I was totally fine after having the buttermilk.
And
And
buttermilk is very good for digestive issues also. It helps in digestion. And it's low fat, it's high protein, and it's really really good for your gut health. And we all know how important gut health is, with this time.
sure, sure. And it also very different. I felt like, does it have any probiotic advantages to it also? The buttermilk?
Yes, absolutely. It
Can you
is.
tell us a bit about that, please?
Yes, yes, yes. So it's a natural probiotic, without the fat, without this thing. So buttermilk, like I said, our buttermilk is also done the traditional Bologna way. When the butter gets separated, the buttermilk is left. What people do is they add water to curd and, all sorts of things. But ours is done traditionally. And then we use the earthen clay pots to do it. So all the rare earth minerals also come in. And yeah, what you get is absolutely pure, fresh, zero preservatives, and no hormones, no antibiotics, made the loving way. So the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Like when you had it, you realized how good you felt. So
Right. Yeah.
that's
And
what
if
it is.
somebody wants to get in touch with you for the buttermilk, like, again, like, do they message you on your Instagram handle, or like, how do they go
So,
about
yeah, they can message us on Instagram. They can go on our online store, which is amritamglobal.com. Order from there. We
that has the
usually take
buttermilk?
subscriptions.
That has the
Yes,
buttermilk.
so it has the buttermilk, and we'll be soon adding on the moringa buttermilk and the milk variants also.
Okay.
So
Okay.
all
Fantastic. Fantastic. Oh my God, I'm so excited about this. So
we
tell me
recently
more.
also,
Yeah.
sorry. I
No,
just
tell
wanted
me
to
more.
add, we're also tying up A2 ice cream very soon, so that will also be coming in the pipeline soon.
Oh, wow. That is something that I haven't heard of earlier. That is going to be so different. Super. So tell me more about that.
So, you can sample some at the Earth Collective this
Okay.
Saturday.
Okay.
We have a vendor by the name, I forgot his name, but I'll share the details with you. And you'll have them all soon. I was too excited. I just spilled the beans too soon.
That's okay. So whenever it probably comes out, you could, we'll put out a link on Facebook and as well as YouTube where it's going to be airing.
Yeah,
It is airing live right now. So below the video, we will put the link when and where this is taking place, and the people who are interested can get in touch or just come there,
lovely.
right? Okay.
Lovely.
So, guys, for all of you who may have missed a first part of the recording or who want to stay updated with all our upcoming episodes, feel free to follow NRG Retreat with Tanveey Kapur podcast on Spotify, on TuneIn Radio, Google Podcasts, and it's going to also be coming on a couple of other platforms we'll be sharing shortly. So, coming back to the benefits of ghee, which is also traditional superfood, and tell us, Devli, why is it so vital in building immunity throughout all age groups?
Throughout all the age groups, because there is so much goodness out there. Like I said, there's vitamin K, there's omega-3 fatty acids, all that you listed in the beginning, vitamin D. In fact, there was a recent study that they said that if you have your dose of vitamin D, you're good enough to fight any virus out there. so you don't need to worry. So in today's day and time when things are so uncertain, you can't fight everything, but yes, you can work on yourself. It aids in digestion, it's antifungal, anti-inflammatory. I mean, if I start listing the benefits, I could go on, for 2 days. That's how good
No, the
it
far
is.
too many, right? And so we're going to come to a couple of myths, and we're going to bust those myths for all you guys about ghee.
Really good, yeah.
But before that, we're going to ask Devli what she feels about the ghee versus butter take. Like, what's your take? Ghee versus butter.
So
What's your take on this?
ghee is pure good fat. It is the best fat you would get out there. Butter is butter still has traces of milk and moisture. So and butter has a very low smoking point. So when you're cooking with butter, you see it burns very fast. On the other hand, ghee has the highest smoke points amongst all the oils out there, and
Mm-hmm.
yet ghee is easily digested at your body temperature. So people have this myth of ghee not being digested. On the other hand, ghee actually aids in digestion,
Right.
and butter obviously takes longer to melt.
Interesting. And ghee can also be used for a lot of beauty and skincare. So can you give us a few tips about that? Of course, like a lot
So
of people write on their lips, when they
yes,
kind of feeling dry. So that's one.
the ghee is an excellent moisturizer for your lips, for your skin. You apply it at night, you wake up in the morning, you see the beautiful glow without the stickiness, because what we are doing is very pure, so it gets absorbed in very easily. You can also use it as an under eye cream. It really helps with dark circles.
Oh, wow.
and
Yeah. Okay.
and these days, I would say the number one thing that you should do is apply 2 drops of ghee in your nasal, passage. So
You're
you
not.
can warm up and put, so that really clears out your entire, passage. And also, if you're applying ghee on your belly button, it also moisturizes your entire body internally, because your belly
Hmm.
button is, so inside out, it takes care of it. For the elder generation, it's a great thing to massage it on their heels. So you can use it in multifaceted ways.
Okay.
There's
Fantastic. So for all you guys who want to like switch from your SC Lauder creams to ghee for your dark circles, under eye dark circles, I mean, think if you want to make that switch, it's going to be excellent. And so it's also so interesting because I'm reading amongst the other benefits that you shared with me, Devi, that it helps you to de-stress, sleep
yes,
better, wake up fresher, for better. It also allows for better digestion, assimilation of nutrients, and also easy bowel movement. So
yes,
there is definitely a lot of stress in the environment, not just today because of the pandemic and because of the related stress, but even otherwise because of your
yes,
daily hectic schedules and so on and so forth. So it's pretty interesting to know that ghee can also help you de-stress. And a lot of dietitians these days are also making the shift, from that whole concept of, oh, ghee is so fattening, so on and so forth. People are actually being advised to use ghee for cooking, right? So,
from Ruchita Divakar to Lucatino to everybody out there, recommend at least 1 teaspoon of ghee with each meal, where
right.
ghee was considered to be like, oh my god, the fattening food.
Absolutely. So that's which is taking place and how. And it also helps to promote brain function, memory, excellent for growing kids, improves vision, lubricates joints, and has many other anti-aging benefits as well. So it's really
Yes,
heartening to know, I would say like the big comeback of ghee and other organic products in today's day and age, and how people are feeling the benefits, truly feeling the benefits, right? In this day and age, across all age groups, whether it's like you were saying, amongst younger children to people who are senior citizens, even people up to the age of 90, and how they can consume this without really worrying about, any kind of a fat intake, so on and so forth, because it's actually got so many health benefits that it outweighs anything else that might be fearing you, right? So there are a lot of myths about ghee. So would you like to bust some myths? I mean, of course, you said that fat is one of them. The people said, oh, it has a lot of fat content, but
yeah.
nowadays. all kinds of nutritionists are also recommending the usage of ghee. So similarly, are there any other myths that you would like to bust before we kind of draw the show to
See, there are going to be myths around it as long as there are different variants available out there. Like I
okay,
said, ghee,
okay,
which is there, is also made from vegetable fat, which is not even, the right process of making ghee. Then there's a second type of ghee which is made from cream. So what normally the dairies do, they cream out the fat and they sell you the milk, and then they make ghee from cream, which is actually the harmful one because that's the one that clogs your arteries. When you're
ah,
talking about ghee, you have to keep two things in mind. It has to be from A2 desi cows, and secondly, it has to be from the Bologna method of making it from curd and not cream. And that's when you get all these nutritional benefits. So, if you're having the right type of ghee, it'll actually help you mobilize your stubborn fat rather than
mhm.
add to it. And that's
So I
why it's
think
highly recommended, by most nutritionists these days.
so. I think people need to be a little careful, like checking on the contents of the kind of ghee and the brand of ghee that they're really bringing into their homes, and
Yes.
it's going to like really affect them, their heart, their family in the long run, right?
Yes, yes. So it's about all about choosing quality over quantity now. I think with this pandemic, the world has realized that they have to make that switch. The commercial products out there have gone through the window, and everybody's come to be more local about vocal, and see where their products are growing or being, coming from. So that is something which is very important.
So tell us now about the journey and how this brand actually came into being. So it did
Second,
happen in the pandemic. I did read about how your siblings got together, and it was really a very, quick decision how the brand came about. So I'd love to know about this startup story. Please share the same.
So, Tanvi, I've been an animal lover since my childhood. Cow cuddling is something which has come to me naturally.
Right.
And when we always had this in mind, we wanted to do something with the cows, but with few of us, we never got together. But during the
Yeah.
pandemic and looking at the demand and, looking at, people really needed this out there, their children needed it, we made a conscious decision to get together and produce this wellness product. And since then, there's been no looking back. We had orders coming in even before we officially launched. We had international orders coming in even before we were ready. So, with God's grace, it's something which has really gone, by word of mouth. And touch wood, we have happy clients, people whose skin has cleared out applying ghee, people who've been treating with cancer feeling much better,
Oh,
people suffering chronic ailments, when they come and tell you, where our medicines failed, your medicinal ghee actually really helped us cure and feel better. So there was no better compliment than that, and then there was no looking back. We just kept going, and today we're shipping worldwide with God's grace. The
that's
wellness is.
fantastic. That is so fantastic. So can you tell me more about people who took this as a medicinal cure, for example, cancer or for other ailments? So how do you, yeah, how can it be used for all that kind of,
So,
stuff?
people, who are existingly going through chemotherapy, facing a lot of, being very, very uncomfortable, because your digestion goes for a six, you mentally you're stressed, and nutritionally also you get quite deprived. And ghee having all those benefits really, help them calm down and their digestion improve and also feel more positive about the whole experience. So that kind of really helped them, and we're still awaiting reports, on the same. But from what we hear from our clients' feedback, that overall they've been feeling much better. So that
So,
is
right.
a
So they
great
add it to
compliment.
their food, like their food is cooked in ghee, or they just eat ghee.
Their food is only cooked in ghee, and on top of that, they add a spoonful to their dal or their vegetable,
Right.
and they've been feeling great, and also been applying ghee. Like I said, your navel application or massaging with ghee. So they've been using it very elaborately and had very very positive results.
Also in times of corona, like where they say that the virus comes in through the nose or through the mouth. So applying ghee,
Yes.
does it actually prevent? the virus from also entering through your nostrils? Is there, I mean, it's just a question that just
So
came up to
it,
me right
it,
now.
it it clears it out, so if there's any congestion in your nose, throat, up to this entire area. So if you warm up the ghee and you just take a dropper and, infuse 2 drops at night and go to bed, you will see in the morning, you will feel the difference, that the whole passage is cleared out. So all the congestion which builds in, which also aids in, so there's plus factor that comes in, when the virus goes in. So it helps you have a clean passage. So there's
Okay.
nothing building up, there's no room for any, virus to build in.
Sure. So you can basically just heat the ghee, keep it in a bottle in liquid form, and then just
Yeah.
use one drop in each nostril, right?
Yes, absolutely. And
That
if
means,
someone has a snoring problem also, that sorts it out as well.
sorry, someone with.
I said if anyone has a snoring problem, you can, that sorts that out as well.
Right. And also people perhaps who have, like sinus, does that help with that?
Yes, 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 of course.
Hay fever. So any kind of allergies, all of that,
Yes.
because it can also help you build your immunity and clear out your
Because it's
nasal.
antifungal and anti-inflammatory, so it works really well. And as Tanvi, our ghee has no smell,
Yeah.
and so people usually are reluctant to do these things, but when they see, that there is no smell, then it's a very easy process to do.
Right, guys. So coming back to the product, it's extremely beautifully packaged. You can also use it to gift people ghee if you really care about them. It's a great gift. It's so healthy, beautifully packed, and I am just opening this in front of you, and it says handmade with love.
That it
Beautiful,
is.
right? And just see beautiful packaging, and it'll also make a great gift for any festive season. I've also seen beautiful hampers being prepared by Devli and her team, so you can probably get in touch in case you'd like to gift someone something healthy, people you care about, people you love, people in your office, your colleagues, something healthy. I'm sure they'll be able to prepare some beautiful hampers for New Year's or in the coming festive season.
Yes.
And on that note, Devi, I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of
Thank
NRG
you.
Retreat on the Wellness Show. And there is so much to learn from you. We probably have you back on another episode. And for Reiki as well, for Reiki as well. And for all of you guys who want to follow us, please follow us on Google Podcasts, on Spotify, on TuneIn Radio, or on my Instagram or YouTube handle by the name of Tanveey Kapur. Thank you so much, Devli. And Devli's handle goes by the name of Amritam Global. Please follow her on Instagram. Devli, is it by the same handle on Facebook as
Yes,
well?
Amazon Global. Yes. And Tanvi, I would like to thank you as well. You've been such a wonderful host, and there's so much volumes of what we can talk about more. But I
Absolutely.
personally like to invite you and your followers, to our farm in the future, maybe for a nice cow cuddling session, so you
I would
can
love
see
that.
where your pure
I would
ghee
totally organize
is.
that.
And
I love that.
yes, so
Really
please feel
looking
free
forward to
to
that.
contact us. And yeah, thank you so much. All my gratitude, and thank you so much for
Likewise.
getting our message out to the world. It means a lot.
I'm
Thank you.
I'm so honored in being able to take your product and everything that it offers out to more people. And also, please, before we kind of tune out of this, can you also tell people where they can go, what online link to order the product?
So they can go on amritamglobal.com to order it, and we are shipping pan India. We have another portal by the name of bodhishop.in that ships internationally. And you can always get in touch with us on our Instagram and Facebook handle, and we'll make sure we get it to you, whichever part of the world you're in.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Devi. Wishing you all the best in your endeavor. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Lovely. Thank you so much.
Bye.